I don't want to turn off the Chrono Trigger music.
I know, it's hard to turn off the Chrono Trigger music. But here we are. We wanted to thank everybody for watching this marathon and helping us to put this on. So many people helped to make this happen in so many different ways, and really glad and grateful that everyone came together to help make this happen. And man, 11 days was pretty ambitious. I wasn't really sure at first if we were going to be able to keep this going and even get enough runs to make 10 or 11 days happen, but we actually ended up with more submissions than we ever have had for one of these. For this, we've only done this once before, but more submissions than we had last year, and more games, I think, than any of the other online marathons have had so far either. So we ended up setting a couple of records in that regard as well. But all in all, I mean, this has been amazing. We plan to do it again next year at the same time. Generally, we've been going by whenever spring break tends to be. That's the week we pick. So whatever that is going to be for 2018, expect to see us back again then. But before we go, we're going to thank everybody, and we're going to take a look at some of the clips that some people sent in, that some people made during this marathon. We put a little clip reel together that Myth and I are going to take a look through in a moment. But before we do that, we want to tell you about a big project that we've got coming up this year. We're going to start doing what we call the Super 16 race. And here we go. And I'll show you little by little what this list is here, but it's sort of like the Big 20 if you're familiar with that, or the Master 15 or the Tiny 10 for Sega Master System or Game Boy games. But it's going to be devoted to Super Nintendo games. The link there in the chat. So go ahead and check that out, and you can sign up for this. It's going to be happening May 21st. That's a Sunday, starting at noon Eastern Time. And we're going to take you through real quick what these games in the list are.
Yeah, if you haven't heard of the Big 20 or the Tiny 10 or the Master 15, it's a big race. It's a race of games back to back to back to back. We're going to hit 16 of them. SNES games are pretty long, so most of these won't be full game goals. But it's a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun watching people learn a bunch of games.
That's right, and lots of people have asked me about this. A bunch of people have asked when's there going to be something like this for the Super Nintendo, because, the NES one, the Big 20, has been so successful so far. And so I guess it's time.
Yeah, so we're going to be going through the ideas. The Super Nintendo turned 25 recently, and so as games sort of come out and hit their 25th anniversary, we're going to put them together into these races of 16 games or so, and that means we're going to kick it off, kind of starting the show with a showstopper.
Right, well, Super Mario World's got to be on the list, and especially if we're going to try to hit these games roughly chronologically. We're going to start with some of the release dates. The North American release of the Super Nintendo was in the fall of last year, fall of 2016, and from then until now, I think there's been roughly like 40-ish games that have had their 25th birthday so far. So we can't do them all. There's not enough time for us to do every game in the SNES library, and honestly, I don't think you'd want to run every game in the SNES library. But we're going to try to pick out the good ones or the infamous ones for us to play here. And so we're starting out with the classic. Can't go wrong with Super Mario World, and the goal for this first game is going to be any percent, no credits warps. So just the basic 11 exit completion of this game. If you want to use a cloud, you can. If you want to use an orb, you can. That's fine. Just whatever it takes to get through this besides warping right to the credits. So, pretty straightforward pick. Super Mario World.
We're going to jump around to a couple different genres here, get a taste of everything the Super Nintendo has to offer. Alongside Super Mario launched Gradius 3.
Oops. I messed up Sorry, I messed up.
Sure did. It's a shoot 'em up. It's a 2D shoot 'em up, and it's actually pretty hard. We had people do a blind race when we celebrated the launch of the 25th anniversary of the SNES, and I was making goals for it, and there was I think it was like beat the third level, and I had a lot of trouble beating the third level. So this one's going to be not so punishing. This is going to be stage 2, easy difficulty. And no warps, I guess, is something we need. There are warps. I think you warp past level 2 if you take the warps. Yeah, well, you are going to have to shoot these guys down, but it's not too bad. The game doesn't really get tricky until later on, so if you're worried about your shmup abilities, don't fret it. You can figure it out. Just to get the Gradius music.
Oh, I don't think they're listening to the Gradius music at the moment. We're just playing some random soundtrack. But a second.
I was just laughing that Elena is trying to screw up our finale.
Impossible. No way to screw up a game list this good. Super Nintendo, they went crazy with the first set of games they released. They really wanted to make stuff that covered all the genres and that would be appealing to everybody. So honestly, probably the best games you're going to find in the system came out pretty early on it. I mean, there's a bunch of other great stuff that came later, but a lot of the really classic stuff you're going to see released right away after the Super Nintendo came out. Alright, let me get the next one going here. I should have prepared these scenes ahead of time instead of just capturing these videos as I go, but whatever.
We will make do.
I know, right? Man, most of these games that are on the list are in the marathon. I think there was only like 2 of them that weren't. We covered a lot of games. I mean, pretty much just about everything is going to be on the list at some point. All right. So, next game we have up is ActRaiser.
This is a really cool game. It came out surprisingly early. Was it actually a launch title, or was it like a launch window game? I can't remember. But it's a really cool game. Combines sim, city building elements with a typical platformer, and it does both surprisingly well. Normally a game like that would kind of end up failing both usually. But this game really pulls it off.
It is, and it treads a fine line between getting, too complicated with the sim stuff versus it just being a waste of your time. And the platforming, what you're going to do, the goal for this is going to... Oh, we didn't say the goal for Gradius 3, did we? It's going to be the first 2 stages of Gradius 3. The goal for ActRaiser, though, is going to be just this first level, Fillmore. You're going to have to do the Fillmore Act 1 fighting sequence. Then you do this fun little sim section. And then once you've amassed enough, whatever it is, the points that let you advance here, there's all kinds of... It's population, but I don't remember specifically what triggers you being able to enter the Act 2.
I think it depends on the place, I think.
Well, we'll have some tutorials made for this game and for all the games at some point.
And for us.
And for us, so that we'll learn a few things. And once you've triggered that, you'll go into Fillmore Act 2, which will be the next fighting section, and you'll fight the boss. And that's it, good old ActRaiser. And then you'll move on.
I'm so glad I kept that mouse pointer Franker faces emote. I'm like, that one's gonna come in handy.
That's right, yeah, you definitely wanna have emotes like that people can use when I forget to turn off hide mouse cursor.
I had 2 options too. There was one that was like kind of blurry and obviously an emote, and one that was pixel perfect, looked like a cursor. And I was like, yeah, that's the one I want. I want the one that people can use to troll other people.
Yeah, right? Oh my gosh, I'm trying to load this Twitch video and it's just completely borked here.
Man. Most of the time when I was looking at record videos, on speedrun.com, and it would link to a Twitch video.
Yeah, they
It
don't
would just
work
be like,
anymore.
nah, it doesn't work anymore. I'm like, well,
Great stuff.
it's not okay.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to skip that one. But the we won't show video of it. But the next game in our list here is going to be Contra 3.
That's right, the Alien Wars. Not Super C. It's a Super Nintendo game, but Super C is a Nintendo game. It's Super Turrican all over again. It's going to be beat stage 4, so the game is going to get difficult. You're not going to be able to coast through
But then
the first level.
The life code, so it's not going to be all that difficult. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It won't make you do anything real difficult here.
Yeah, Contra 3 is Contra in general has a very great speedrun history, and I'm worried we're front loading our games on this first 16 with some real bangers. But I mean, that's the way they came out, so that's the way we'll do them. Contra 3, fantastic speedrun.
There's going to be great stuff through the whole lifespan of the system. Don't worry.
It's a great console.
Sure it is. And of course, the next game we've got is Pilot Wings, one of the release titles. It's a bit of a tech demo. They just wanted to show off all the like fake 3D stuff they could do with the Super Nintendo.
You said it. You said it out loud. Tech demo.
It's a tech demo. It kind of is, but it's I don't know. It's a fun game to play in a context like this when you have a bunch of other people also, having fun with it. I imagine it would be kind of an obnoxious game to try to beat fully blind.
This is another launch title, so it was another game we had for that that blind race we organized, and some of the stuff at the end is a little tricky. You really need to wrap your head around some of the Mode 7 stuff to get through it. So thankfully, beating just lessons 1 and 2 means you're mostly just going to be doing the fun stuff.
Right, yeah, we stop before we get to the really frustrating showstopper stuff.
Look at that. You can go for that high-speed landing flat on your back, or you can play it a little safe. Up to you how you want to approach in the race. But you can absolutely get through it. Our next game, getting a little bit off the radar now. It's going to be Joe and Mac. Joe and Mac has a couple NES games. Maybe just one, and then the series gets kind of weird. Joe and Mac 2 is called Congo's Caper, I think, and then Joe and Mac 3 has a subtitle. But it's a rather straightforward platformer with multiple weapon upgrades, and it's got a run button. And he's a very active main character. His limbs and he vibrates kind of as when he runs, and when he does this jump, his spin is kind of off center. So he's a very hyperactive looking guy. Is Joe, I suppose. All the bosses are dinosaurs of various types, and the hitbox on this attack is fairly generous. Has a lot of active frames. It's a little tough to master, I'd say, but pretty easy to get into. So I think it'll make for a good goal. It's going to be beat stage 6 on easy difficulty.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty accessible game. Probably not the first game you think of when you think of Super Nintendo platformers, but actually it really is an enjoyable game to play, I think. So hopefully everyone will enjoy. Stage 6 will be a nice, reasonable goal for it before it starts to get too tedious. Alright, well, what do we have up next here?
Well, this is a game you definitely wouldn't have thought of if you said pick a list of awesome SNES games. This is Hal's Hole-in-One Golf. And we had our pick of a couple different sports games
there were a lot of sports games released, especially pretty early on, and probably about half of them were golf. Overall, maybe
That's
more
true.
than half, I think, of the sports games were golf. So we figured golf would be a nice representative thing. Also, it's something that lends itself to speedrunning better than a game with fixed pacing, like basketball or hockey or something like that, where you're playing a game and the game lasts a certain amount of time. It may be a little more fun to optimize a game like golf. So that's what we're doing. And we saw this game in the marathon, and honestly, it's just real charming. And it's nice and simple. It's not like an overly technical golf game. They weren't trying to backport some 3D PC type golf game into Super Nintendo format. It was just straight up Nintendo-like golf with a relatively easy interface to deal with.
Yep, and no horrendous pixelated picture of Jack Nicklaus close up in between holes.
No, yeah, that's terrifying. A terrifying picture of Jack Nicklaus. That's why we didn't give you that game.
Also, this game's made by HAL of Kirby and Smash Brothers fame.
Sorry about that.
And yeah, I think it's pretty good. Give golf a chance, I guess, is what we're saying.
Definitely giving golf a chance. I don't want them getting the next one queued up here.
I'm sorry, David, but you can't use that club.
Wow, Twitch videos just don't want to play. Okay, here we go.
Just load up the emulator and capture that. Just play perfectly.
At this point, it might be quicker. All right. So what's the next game we got here, Myth?
It's going to be Super Adventure Island. We had this in the marathon maybe twice? No, it was different Adventure Island. Rather straightforward platformer. Not nearly as hard as its NES predecessors. He still has a lot of momentum to his movement, but not nearly the cow on ice skates that he is in the NES games. Master Higgins still has that idle animation, that not so idle animation. Can't stay still. But this game gets tough, but this goal's going to end after World 3. So you'll get a taste of some of the harder stuff, but really, it's going to be fairly tame, not too daunting to learn, and lots of room for optimization too. Picking up this food will keep you alive, but it wastes time at the end counting down. So people who want to go as fast as possible are going to want to skip as much food as possible. Room for variations and strats is something we like when we're putting together something like this. And of course, he still has his skateboard loaded up with protective gear. They don't want to send the wrong message to kids, of course. But yeah, that's Super Adventure Island. I think that was game number 9.
Working on it. I'm sorry. Hold on.
It was. No, that's 8. We're halfway through.
Twitch players just being absolutely a disaster right now. I'm sorry.
Oh, it started playing SimCity music.
It did. Well, hopefully it didn't blast everyone's ears too badly there. Okay, so we got SimCity is our next game.
This was another launch title.
Mm-hmm. An interesting one, too. Probably the most different of all the ones. Well, maybe the Chess Master would have been an interesting speedrun to throw in, but other than that, this is probably the farthest out there of the games. and you jump till we actually have something going on. But the rules for this is we're trying to reach a population of 100,000 K.
Yeah, I think it's Metropolis is the
Yeah, that's what it gets.
the milestone.
Right, and you can use any seed you want, and you'll probably have to do a little research here, but some seeds are better than others as far as giving you, the optimal amount of land and just the grouping of it so that you can build your buildings optimally. You're probably going to want to take a look at some of the more optimal city plans, because this run is very much about sort of knowing how to make the most efficient city, moving your cursor and everything to build that city really quickly, and then just sitting and waiting for the population to fill in. We are going to allow you to do the population glitch. Or sorry, not the population glitch. It's the money glitch, right? It's the money glitch where you're set. I forget how you do it. You somehow underflow your money by the way you set your budget, and then it gives you basically unlimited money to work with as you build your city.
Yeah, it involves raising and lowering the taxes. So I like to think of it as just straight up tax fraud.
It's basically the tax fraud.
You can see
glitch.
it there. Tax rate 0. That's part of the glitch.
That is precisely what it is. It's tax fraud. That's right. And so we only have to get to 100,000, and I believe the speed run for that, the world record is less than 10 minutes. So that's going to be a relatively quick one.
This was my favorite blind race that we did for the 25th
really was
anniversary.
Fun. It really was fun because it's a game that anyone can really wrap their head around. But it's really interesting to see it done as a speed run. It just is like a whole different kind of beast.
So what do we got up next? We'd love to tell you, but this resource is not supported.
I know. I'd love to tell you, but everything just Twitch player keeps crashing. Okay, here we go. What we got up next is a game called Smart Ball. Now, this is sort of this is your hipster pick right here. This is a game that's really good, but you probably haven't heard of it. But it is just a really unique game. It's a platform with a kind of odd control scheme. I mean, being able to control this smart ball is going to take a little bit of work, but I think this game is totally worth the effort because it's just very creative and it's got a lot of neat little speed tricks.
Yeah, this is the one where the top players are going to start to pull away. There's a mechanic where you can kind of stick to walls and ceilings, and a couple other things about controlling this blob and making him do what you want him to do, that makes speedrunning it tricky. I think this is probably the trickiest game we've shown so far, in terms of starting fresh and learning how to go fast.
Yeah, you're definitely going to want to do a little research on this one. I mean, it can be done blind, but I think you probably enjoy it more when you have a little bit of a sense of what's going on.
It really is a cool game, though. Just don't get it confused with some of the other ball games.
Like Super Ultra Man Ball?
Yeah. You made it sound like that was the next game.
Nope, it's not, though. The next game, though... by the way, what is the goal for Smart Ball?
It's going to be beat World 4.
World 4. Okay, yeah, each of the worlds has got several stages to it. But you've got to beat up through and including World 4. I know we didn't explicitly say this in the rules, but anytime it says beat whatever, it means beat up to that and including that from the beginning.
Yeah, no shenanigans.
No shenanigans. All right, here we go. What do we have next here?
Up next is Final Fight. There's been a couple of these games, but it started with, well, I don't know, maybe there was something. There's different versions. Surely there's an arcade version of Final Fight. But this is a Super Nintendo Marathon, so we're going to play the Super Nintendo version. What you're seeing here, I think, is a tool-assisted run. So it's probably not going to go as great for
No.
you.
Yeah, some of these, I tried to get, in most of these cases I grabbed the world record run, but some of these I just found whatever video I could get.
Yeah, this is it's pretty hard, I found, to be precise in this game. Murphigator does a lot of brawler speedruns, particularly Final Fight games, and he's proven time and time again you absolutely can speedrun games like this. I mean, just look at how smoothly this run is moving and doing these infinites, and the efficiency of attacks on the various enemies. A lot of room to go fast in a game like this. And it's a little something different. I think a lot of people are gonna get something here that they probably haven't played since they were kids. When was the last time you played a straight up brawler like this? So a bit of nostalgia and a new way of looking at an old thing.
Oh, I had it. Hold on a second.
Oh, the goal for Final Fight is going to be beat round 3. I think West Side is the name of the level. It's about half the game, I think.
I think that's about right. It's not maybe less than half. I think there may be 7 stages, I want to say. But yeah, it's going to be a really quick goal. In fact, that's probably one of the shorter ones, maybe about 6 or 7 minutes in the world record run, but probably take a normal person a lot longer than that. It really is hard to optimize, but I think it is going to be fun and rewarding, and maybe get you to play some beat 'em ups if that's not normally your thing. But what do we have next?
Up next, notoriously hard game.
Notorious is the word. There you go.
Super Ghouls and Ghosts. This version is significantly different than its Genesis brother, similar to a couple other games. But I feel like whereas some games there's a nice divide between which camp you're in, Super Ghouls and Ghosts is got the majority, and maybe it's in large part thanks to PJ running this game as much as he did. Koreshi as well put a lot of work into this game, and since then some other people have taken it and run with it. I think Aquas played it in this marathon, and this is a really deep and involved speedrun, I guess. It's hard, man. It's a hard game, and this is not one of those cases where speedrunning it is easier than just kind of playing it. Going as fast as possible comes with its own set of challenges in this game. Thankfully, you only have to beat the first 3 levels. There's some pretty nasty stuff towards the end. You don't have to do a second loop or anything. But it's a hard game. You're going to want to put some time in and learn it. And I think you'll find it rather rewarding.
Hold on, I'll just about get the next one up here. This is a really cool game, though. I mean, this is a hard game, but honestly, it's so much fun to play, and it just looks so good when you're going fast in it. I mean, it's going to be a real challenge, I think, but
yeah, especially if you take a hit, you lose your armor, your weapon gets powered down, or maybe you pick up the wrong weapon. There's a scythe there trying to throw off our valiant speedrunner in the video.
And what's the goal for it?
It's going to be the first 3 stages. Bit of an auto-scroller element to this second level. Seemed a shame to end it there, so we thrust a 3rd level upon you guys. This auto-scroller is no joke, though. Don't sleep on it. Yes, level 3 is the lava level. Next up, Maybe you've heard of it, Castlevania. This is of the Super Castlevania 4 variety. You want to get your cross and your triple, and you want to go to town, throw in those things. A ton of optimization and effort has been put into this game, thanks largely to some rivalry and competition, I think. Particularly Joe D'Amelio and Furious Paul. But since then, others have kind of joined the fray. I think we had a 4-way race of this game at this marathon.
We did have a big race of it. Yep. Yeah, this game really blew up. I'd say within the last maybe 3 or 4 years. I mean, this game did not used to have very many people running it at all, and then it's like within maybe like the last 3 years, it just suddenly really ballooned, and lots of people picking it up. And it's great. It absolutely deserves the attention that it's getting. I'm started to learn it myself, and just so much complexity to it. We're going to be doing the first 3 worlds, so up through the end of 3-3, I believe. That's the water dragon that you have to fight. That's the end of the goal. And it doesn't seem like it doesn't take the world record very long to get through that point, but there is a lot of content up through that, so definitely don't sleep on that. Super Castlevania 4 is going to be one of the more difficult games, I think, to learn in this set here.
And after that, we've got F-Zero.
F-Zero, yeah.
Yeah. You wanted to go fast? Here you go. Go 478 kilometers per hour. This is a game that needs no introduction. Though it was a launch title. They wanted to show off some of that Mode 7, and this game does a fantastic job of it. The goal for this is going to be beat Night League on beginner difficulty. That's the first set of 5 tracks. Game doesn't really get too nasty. You don't have any crazy jumps or mines or those magnetic bars that like pull your ship, or wind that goes that blows you constantly in one direction. Pretty straightforward racing. But there's a lot of tech that is kind of unapparent if you just watch a video. So you will want to do a bit of research, figure out what brake tapping is, how to preserve your momentum around corners, because you may feel like you're doing pretty good, but someone who really knows what they're doing can actually push this game quite far. Luckily, there's a lot of resources. F-Zero speedrunning has had its own community for a very long time. I assume F-Zero Central is still up and going. Oh, the bars are in Night League. Dang.
Right,
well,
yeah.
you have to figure those out.
Yep. Well, it's only 5 tracks, I believe. 5 tracks in Night League. And this is probably going to be one of the longer games. I think the fastest time does Night League in I think it's like 16 minutes or 17 minutes or something like that. This is going to be one of the longer ones. But it's definitely a game that pretty much anyone can identify with. This is probably the most famous racing game for the Super Nintendo, and honestly still one of the most fun ones to play. So I'm really looking forward to playing some F-Zero. So what do we have next on the list?
Never heard of it.
This is a game, yeah, you might not have heard of this game. It's a little bit weird. It's a top-down game. There's this guy in green. He moves really fast sometimes when he's running on ladders. I don't know what that's all about. He steals books from the library. He's kind of a badass, but still, ultimately, he is the hero, and we have to, try to appreciate his good qualities and ignore his bad qualities. The game, of course, is a link to the past. Yeah, he's, of course, like his pink hair. Does he have pink hair?
Yeah, man, look at that. A lot of people don't realize, but his hair is straight up pink in this game.
It's not even just like auburn or something. It's pink.
No, it's not his hat. It's very clearly his hair.
Wow. Okay, well, we won't hold that again.
Yeah, this is a secondary. It's probably one of his best features on this.
So this is an anime game? I never knew that.
Yep. Huh. Zelda's anime. The CGI games will will back us up on that. Let's get back to Link to the Past. This is not a CGI game. This is a SNES game.
And the goal is to beat the entire game. No, I'm just kidding. Wait, no. The goal is to get the Moon Pearl. It's not even Master Sword. It's less than Master Sword. Just Moon Pearl. And it's no major glitches. So the regular no major glitches rules apply. You can't do Death Mountain Descent or Exploration Glitch or anything that's going to be, taking you out of bounds and such.
Yeah, technically you could do the game in like 2 minutes.
Right.
But learning how to do a very, very finicky glitch, and then cheesing out the game didn't seem right. So you're going to play the game largely how it was intended for. It's going to be a like 17, 18-minute goal, I think, to get to that Moon Pearl. You technically don't have to finish the Desert Palace. You can grab the gloves and head straight up to Death Mountain. So there's going to be some a small route deviation from everything else out there. Thankfully, there's 1,000,000,001 resources for learning this game, this beloved game. And we really hope that people who dive into it for this race maybe discover a love of it and keep going with more.
Hold on, I'm just fighting with Twitch player here. I'll get it. The next game up in a second. Yeah, Link to the Past, pretty fun. We were talking about, there's going to be a Link to the Past randomizer tournament. That's actually we got, I think, one more week to sign up for that before all that begins. So I think a lot of people are going to be picking up Link to the Past. And we were hoping to maybe do a Master Sword tournament at some point this year, like much later this year. We'll, let Randomizer do its thing first. But yeah, I definitely think it's a good year to be learning Link to the Past. And the Randomizer right now is great. They've put a lot of work into it, and it's really come together. And they wouldn't be doing a tournament if people didn't think it was ready for the big time here. So yeah, get ready for a year of Link to the Past. But you can start out just by finding the Moon Pearl. Not very much to learn. Really easy category. You can learn that in an evening. So what do we have? What's the last game on this list?
This is cutscenes. This is Final Fantasy 4/2. I guess I'm going to call it Final Fantasy 2.
Let's call it Final Fantasy 4 because that's the lead. You can't make fun of someone who calls it Final Fantasy 4, so we'll just be on the safe side. But yes, if you want to play it on, you can play, for all these games, you can play whatever version you want. You can play, between the North American or the Japanese version. You can use either one, but it would be called Final Fantasy 2 in the US, as we see on the box art.
Yeah, I forget what the release dates were like around this game for the different versions. Generally, we went with North American release dates. Either way,
yep, you
are going to be playing this game. This is there's a lot of cutscenes at the beginning, so we didn't want to just make you do a 10-minute goal. So
this is going to be a rather longer one, but the goal is to beat Antlion. So not very far into the game. I believe the record run gets there in like 24 minutes or something like that. 25 minutes. It's somewhere around there. So pretty quick there, but I mean, we're not assuming that everyone's going to be doing the seed manipulation and skipping all the monsters. So it'll probably take you a little bit longer, maybe closer to 35 minutes or so. But it's still going to be a relatively short goal as far as RPGs go. And it is the finale game of this list. If anyone has any questions, this is a good time to ask. But yes, you have to do these games in order, in the order that you see here. So we're all gonna start with Super Mario World, and we're all gonna end with Final Fantasy IV. You can use an emulator, you can use Flash Cart, or you can use original carts. If you're using an emulator, make sure you use one that is acceptable for Speedruns Live rules, because we will be doing this race on Speedruns Live. Make sure that you've used Speedruns Live before and you know how to join race channels and such. Don't wait till the day of the race to figure out how to use SRL, because you're going to find that it's more difficult than you expected for the first time.
Yeah, As long as you get in contact with us ahead of time, we'll help you work out how to navigate speedruns live.
Yes, save quits are allowed. Anything is allowed unless we say it's not, except for codes. Codes in general are not allowed. If you have to use any kind of cheat codes or something like that, it's not allowed, except for where we explicitly said you could use the lives code in Contra 3. But if you want to use save quit in A Link to the Past, you're welcome to do that. You don't have to use the American version, so for all these games you can use whatever version's the fastest, but not PAL. You got to use either U version or the J version. But if you want to get the 1.0 or the 1.1 or whatever you like, whatever version of it is fastest, go ahead and use. No Game Genie. Oh yeah, no, the money glitch in SimCity. We're not banning glitches. In general, glitches are allowed unless we say otherwise. If you're a little unsure, like if there's some glitch that's just so crazy that it breaks everything and we didn't mention it, send us a message. Let us know. If you look on this Super 16 page, there should be a contact link at the bottom, or you can, contact me, Feasel, or Mythical9 in Discord if you want to ask, or tweet us, whatever.
For Zelda, the no major glitches category allows fake flippers, spin speed, and item dashing. But none of the crazy stuff that gets you out of bounds, basically.
Right. Yeah, we're just using the standard no major glitches rule for that. Right.
Will there be a Discord for Super 16? There will be something. I don't know if we'll use our main one or if we'll make a new one.
Well, the question really is just whether we're going to make our own Discord or whether we're going to use the retro Discord that we used for SNES Superstars. I think I'm leaning towards that. That's the same one they also used for the Master 15 race. So I think if you're in the Discord for this marathon that we've just finished here, I believe we'll just make a channel in there for Super 16 stuff. YBA is not allowed, no.
Yeah, no YBA. That falls under shenanigans. There is a sign-up page, but that's not it's not official. You don't have to sign up to be in the race, but it's cool to do it, and then you see who else is doing it. People keep in contact with each other. They help each other out. They are there when you want to complain about whatever game is giving you trouble. The best part about doing these races is doing them along with everyone else. So I highly encourage that you do sign up and you get involved with people.
Oh, here, let me clarify. Yes, you can use save and quit, but you can't use major glitches. When I say it's like the no major glitches rule, that's a bit confusing because they call it any % no major glitches, but technically they should be calling it any % no major glitches, no save and quit. They just sort of leave that part off for brevity's sake. So when I say no major glitches, I mean the glitches that are banned in that category. However, we will be allowing you to use save and quit in this, just like it was a Master Sword race or something like that. Yes, you can use save and quit for Link to the Past.
Category for Super Ghouls and Ghosts beat Stage 3 on normal difficulty.
Right, Stage 3. I was considering Stage 4. Originally I had it as that, and I thought, this is probably going to be the biggest headache of all of them. Maybe I won't. Maybe we won't do all of those. But there you go. This is the Super 16 list. We have a sign-up link. You don't have to use it. You can if you just show up on the day of the race on SRL and just join in, you can play. But if you want to sign up for it ahead of time, you can put in your Twitch ID and your Twitter handle so that people who want to watch the runners as they're training for this will know what channels to go to. We'll have this participant list up there that people can look at. There we go. There's a link in the chat. That second one, /participants, that's the one. Well, what do you think? Do you want to move on to the final stretch here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, thanks for looking at these Super 16 games with me. We are going to...
Well, we should talk about some of these upcoming tournaments.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's talk about the stuff that we've been working on or will be working on in
Has earned
coming months here.
worldwide acclaim. Now it's your
Perhaps we
time.
should shout out some of the
Join
tournaments
with other adventurers
already in progress.
as you
Shovel Knight finals down to, I think, top 3, maybe just top 2. But Shovel Knight is going to be wrapping up very soon. That's going to be exciting. Both Mega Man 3 and Mega Man X2 tournaments are advancing from the group stages and are moving on to the single elimination round. And the tournament for Ori and the Blind Forest as well, also well underway. So those are going to continue in earnest once this marathon is over. But joining them over the next couple of months, there are a number of tournaments here. Let's see if I can get these in chronological order. I think Link to the Past Randomizer is up first, starting in just 4 days.
Is that so? That soon?
March 25th.
That's pretty soon.
So you can still... Oh, it's not 27. My bad. Or maybe that one's out of date. I'm not sure, but it is soon. So don't wait if you want to get in on this. There's a lot to learn when to go into a randomizer, because you kind of need to learn everything to be ready for anything kind of situation. But if you want to dive in, you can. And if you want to check it out and just watch, then look for that coming up soon. After that, I want to say it's going to be Zelda 1 Randomizer, the OG of randomizers. The tournament for that is going to start April 5th. I don't remember if that one's being restreamed entirely on Speed Gaming, or if that one's going to jump around. But that one is coming up soon. We had Mega Man X and X2 tournaments. So X3 is coming up after them. That's going to start April 24th. Don't want to forget these commands as I go. We got Donkey Kong Country 1 DKC tournament, or DKC 2 tournament. Was a lot of fun. Really glad to be doing the first game in the series. Banjo-Kazooie is going to start May 1st. Still lots of time to sign up and learn that game. By popular request, we're doing Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. And this is... it's got a lot of random elements to it. But a lot of people seem like it's just a lot of fun to get in there and roll the dice.
Yeah, this was a pretty popular game that among the requests for what tournaments we would do. Yeah, I think this is going to be kind of fun. Maybe a little random, but maybe that'll make the tournament more interesting, not knowing for sure who's gonna win it.
As Proexel was mentioning, the Final Fantasy IV Paladin Percent tournament is currently going on, bracket stages starting this week, so look out for that.
There it is.
And Pokemon Red. Pokemon, obviously hugely popular game. It's cultivated a pretty good speedrun scene, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens when a tournament gets going for it. But that's some of the content we've got coming up on this channel in the next couple of months. Sign-ups are open for a lot of those tournaments. But if all you want to do is watch, you're going to have to stay tuned over the next couple of months.
All right. Yeah, it's going to be pretty busy, but I'm looking forward to it.
Not as busy as the past couple of days.
No.
So that is it, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around through the wrap up, but we have reached the end of the marathon. We've been streaming super players speedrunning super games on the Super Nintendo for a whopping 257 hours. Although maybe now we're at 258. That's a lot of hours. And in that time, by my count, we've seen 11 world records be broken and 6 personal bests beaten. We've seen a couple soft locks. We've seen some ROM hacks, fresh takes on old favorites. We've seen several games beaten entirely blindfolded. We've seen players playing one game with 2 controllers. We've seen players playing 2 games with 1 controller. We've seen games beaten while running at double speed. We've seen runs reset from timer mess-ups and unexpected earthquakes and super fighting robots. And we've seen a certain bot do her best each and every day to make people happy, who we've kind of grown to love just a little bit. We've seen a lot over these past 11 days. It takes an incredible amount of work and effort to put this thing together and make it go, but it's also a hell of a ride, and we hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back again next year, bigger and better than ever. And in the meantime, we'll continue to keep bringing you guys speedrun events and tournaments every day, except tomorrow. We're probably going to sleep tomorrow. But maybe we'll see you guys the day after.
I have a feeling I'm going to be casting some tournament matches tomorrow. I don't think I get the day off. No.
That's too bad.
You're going to sleep.
I'm going to sleep a lot.
I'll get plenty of sleep. It'll be fine.
We have some clips, but I don't know. We're taking a while. Do we want to? Do we even want to
go
clips?
into it? Let's go. Let's jump right into it. Here we go.
All right.
Well, why don't you thank everybody first? Are we going to do that first?
We didn't do that. We almost didn't do it.
I thought we were going to do that before the clips.
That was the whole point of this wrap up.
Exactly. That's what you're getting to. All right, go ahead.
All right. Look, we've had a lot of volunteers. This doesn't happen without the help of our volunteers. So we got the Greenleaf Effect on hosting, along with Cruel, the Seawolf 1, Kalars, Absnerdity, the Glory Hog, the Great Gilder Sneeze, Phallic XX1, and Laricos, all hosting, filling time in between runs when the setup was not done correctly. Setup, by the way, done also by Phallics and Laricos, as well as Garbanzo Guy, Saint Connor, Mikey McC, Arcano, Figbird, and Tristan. We also had Quick Flash helping us out a lot with the tech. Keku Man Shoyu is responsible for the incredibly timely release of all the VODs for the marathon.
VODs. He was right on top of it.
All the VODs.
Sometimes some of them he highlighted just the moment it ended. It went up there on YouTube. So big shout outs to Keiko Manchu for putting all those videos, making them available for us. Very thankless task, so let's try to thank him now while we can.
That's right. And Crazy Rasmus as well. We're using his retro Discord server to make a lot of this go.
And I know there's going to be people that we forgot to mention, but thank you so much to everyone. Like, lots of people contributed and gave suggestions for runs or runners that we can contact. A bunch of people stepped in for commentaries, some of them at the last minute. A lot of runners filled in for last minute gaps in the schedule, putting up runs that they hadn't even really known they were going to do. They just happened to be there at the time, and they had a run they could do, so they did. And man, I really appreciated the chat. Everyone was just so nice and so polite. And really, we had, for the number of viewers we had just an excellent, well-behaved chat. And I was just, it was very, very positive all around. I was very happy with everyone involved.
And of course, thanks to all our scheduled runners as well. A list too long to name each and every one of them. But you can check the schedule out. Or go through all the VODs. You can find all their names there. Thank you so much to you guys. So we're gonna end with some clips.
All right, here we go. Yeah, a bunch of people submitted a bunch of clips, and Mythical put together some highlights from the runs that he can say a few words about, and we'll just go through these. Not too many of them, but we've got a bunch of these that people put together. So
Yeah.
let's see what we got here.
It was hard to nail some of these down, but I think dodecahedron's Kaizo runs at the start of the marathon, filled with so many, choosing one was tough. But I went ahead and went with this one.
The time's gonna end when I lose control of Mario. Oh my gosh. This fight has taken me several hours in runs before. I should...
Is it playing?
Yeah, didn't it show for you?
I didn't see anything. I don't think the
Did
stream
I
saw
not?
things.
It didn't
I don't
either,
think you-
because I had it loaded in the preview window. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Nice.
All right. Here we go. Let's play it for real.
Alright, so there's the flaunt. This is the final phase.
This game is crazy. This, I'd say, of all the Kaizo games I've seen, this one looked nuts.
Oh, we got it. Okay. Whew. The time's gonna
Sneaking
end
that
when I
last
lose
bomb in there.
Oh my gosh. This fight has taken me several hours in runs before. I should...
You can see the timer there is a 108. I think this run had like a 2-hour, 15-minute estimate or something. He totally destroyed the schedule single-handedly. Up next, we got Kirby's Dream Land 3. I want you guys to keep your eyes on the right. Watch Swordsman Kirby as he gets ready to fight the final boss.
Gooey, why? Gooey. Oh. Okay, I guess I have to reset. Wow.
Power-up destroyed. He's going to have to go back and get the power-up again to fight the final boss. He still won that race, though, because Suzuri Bako got completely trolled by the minigame with the sound effects. Up next, you want to look at the top right of your screen here. Niaki gets a bit cheeky during the final boss fight of Super Bomberman 3. No sound, apparently.
Yeah, we can't really play the sound from these clips because the game audio is going to be like tiny compared to the runner or to the commentator's audio.
That's a big shame. All these clips we're going to make easily accessible later on.
Put a little highlight reel together of them, but
Yeah, Niaki gets he bites off a little more than he can chew. So that ends up being a death.
cool boss fight though.
Up next, L Rock 617, one of my favorite runners that I discovered through the marathon this year. He's going to show us how to take care of this boss fight against the penguin.
Sir, you got a little something on your face. Here, I'll get it off for you. Did I get it? No, it's still a little bit left. Oh, there we go. Nice boss fight.
Takes him out. Next clip is going to be Super Mario All-Stars Big John in the race, but was not able to join commentary and found that a little frustrating. So he decided to take matters into his own hands and sort of express himself through his gameplay.
Bit of a standoff here. Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't end well.
Spoilers, he dies.
he does wrap that up on the very next attempt. Next up, Home Improvement Power Tool Pursuit was one of our world records this year. Lots of good moments, but I like this one.
This game looks so fun. I mean, I'm sure it's terrible, but it looks so fun.
He makes it look fun.
I love a game with a grappling hook. That's the thing. The grappling hook hits me.
Up next, this is La Hulk's incredible endeavor to play both Soul Blazer and Illusion of Gaia at the same time. I loved the way he moves through both games at the same time in this moment. Down and to the left. Down and to the right. And then while he picks up this item, he takes full control of Soul Blazer to do some work on some monsters. Great stuff.
Yeah, really impressive, just beating 2 games at once. And quicker than most of us would be able to beat either of these games. So, that's really saying something.
Yeah, I remember doing the math and being like, what if you just did a speedrun of one and then did a speedrun of the other? What is the total? And he beats that total doing both at the same time. So
there you go. That's a good yardstick to compare against there.
Yeah.
All right, what do we have next here?
This is Anthole playing Indiana Jones's Greatest Adventures, I think. He decided to focus, not do commentary, and just focus on the game. And you can see here one of the reasons why he might want to do this. I counted this up. I believe it is 41 consecutive swings. Each one has a 4-frame window to jump off of it and catch the next one. Notice there's not a lot of ground in this stage.
Yeah, no, he's just kind of going right through this. Wow.
I found with things like that, where you have to get into a rhythm, I will lose that rhythm eventually. That's just the kind of person I am. If it's just 1, 2, 3, I can look at 1, 2, 3, but when it becomes, 17, 18, 19, I lose it. I drop it. So that was incredibly impressive to me. Up next, early in the marathon, Papat.1 ran Mega Man 7, and he got us off to a pretty good start. So we'll see how things go for him here. Rush, hitbox on Rush is a little...
Yeah, that's right. He's trying to go on Rush, but it did not register, so he ends up walking off. Yeah, these aren't all clips of things going well. These are just, terrible things that, of course, will happen to you in the middle of your marathon run.
In Donkey Kong Country 2, a new wrong warp was discovered the night before the race, and KB-Zon incorporates it into his run here. He needs to get this cutlass over to the side. Takes the hit into the barrel, and he gets it.
Brand new fresh strats. He had to take the wrapper off those strats before he used them.
Up next is a rather turbulent run, plagued by all kinds of issues, including password entry. This one I mostly I wanted the audio in this one. That's a shame, but Drumboardist, entertaining guy, shows us how to fall with grace. Just pop, dead.
This looks like a pretty unforgiving game.
Yep, back to the title screen. He's 7 minutes overestimate at that point, by the way. Up next, Mario RPG. Look at the left side of the screen here, Daniel and Countdown. They've managed to put themselves in perfect step with each other, going to town on Johnny.
Yeah, this race, it was a lot of real close calls here. A lot of syncing up.
Up next, this one needs audio, unfortunately. But this
Okay,
is
hold
Mr.'s. Yeah.
Let me see if I can. Hold on. Let me see if I can do it. All right, go ahead.
Well, Mr. Zaire the Mant did a couple games for us, mostly Doraemon games, but he also did Stunt Race FX.
I'm not sure. I think, guys, I think the reason why I set the estimate so high for this game is because I was really afraid I was gonna die.
Straight through the ground. Good stuff. The comedic timing on his part.
Should still be
well
below.
done. Really sold it. Up next, we're going back to Donkey Kong Country. This is well, this just shows you should always look on the brighter side of things.
This doesn't make you want to join the DKC1 tournament that we're doing. I don't know what will.
At least he gets another try at doing the trick. This is are we still doing audio for these now?
Do you want audio on these?
For
Just let me know which
a
ones.
lot of them. Yeah, we want audio for this one. This is Skybill's playing Mario Brothers Lost Levels.
All right, let's do it.
What? It's there.
The game
It's
was
there.
on to you.
It was on to what I was doing. Alright. Okay. I'm gonna wait for this bullet bill to pass. Okay. Alright, it doesn't want to pass, so... This is for the time I picked on Glib for the baseball. This bullet bill!
This bullet bill.
This bullet bill! Okay,
Hang
all
on.
of you, go! Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Wonder if that one got cut off a little early. But yeah, Bullet Bill's not having it. Finally gets fed up. I thought that was cute. Up next, ACMLM and Parisian Player were crazy enough to do A Link to the Past running at double speed. Look at this cold stare fight.
Yeah, this is kind of a. Ugh, sorry about that. Yeah, this is kind of a tough boss. I had a real hard time getting the quick kill on this guy, and just to see it done at 2x speed, I don't know if I'd be able to pull that off. That's insane.
Up next is Yagamoth. We're okay without audio on this one. He's playing Goof Troop, and he did this and Secret of Mana. One player, two controllers. He is controlling both Max and Goofy at the same time, and I love the way he has one character throw the projectile to the other. Goofy does more damage, so if possible, you want him to do most of the attacking. If you haven't seen that run, I definitely recommend you go check it out. Up next, another world record was Garbanzo doing On the Ball, Garbanzo guy. And it's thanks to moments like this. This is him setting an individual level record on this level, going to the next one, and hitting this skip. He would go on to beat his PB by like 40 seconds or so. This next one is a twofer. You're going to want to watch both. Background Guy's going to steal the show here with his reaction to some of the RNG he gets in this fight, but also watch Il Temple's skill dodging on the right side.
Another alpha. This super bomb might kill.
Oh, yeah!
Oh my gosh. Wow, that smash. Oh man, really? Ah, you're such a luck sack. dude.
God damn, I needed that smash.
You knew as soon as that second life up happened, it was probably over.
I saw that second line.
So this is Elminster. It's doing Super Metroid redesign.
You know, after watching this marathon, I think that probably Super Metroid must be the most speedrun, one with its hacks that are the most speedrun, like a game that has the most hacks that people tend to try to play fast, because there just was so much interest in Super Metroid hacks for this.
Yeah, Super Mario World also quite up there, but
Yep, that's true with the Kaizos and whatnot.
Yeah. This one added the Shine Spark chaining abilities from the Game Boy games, and Elminster nailed that. This one absolutely needs audio. Crank it up.
But the intro is basically
And
the same
a reminder to please turn off your stream
any other
alerts.
Intro stage that you do in this game. The only exception, I believe, Jenny will just be using the Buster Shots.
Sorry,
Zero.
sorry. Give me a second. I forgot about that. Crap.
What happened?
Someone followed me, and I forgot to turn that off. I am so sorry. I'll turn it off in a second.
It's cool. You got plenty of time.
Yeah, I'll turn it off in the next when the game loads somewhere.
Up next.
That was great.
I don't know why. That stream alert kept going, by the way, for like 11 minutes. It forced him to... He just like restarted the run and redid it all over. Up next, I don't know why anyone chooses to learn to run Beavis and Butthead. But check out how it went for Esperama here.
Yep, they shouldn't still be here. This screen should be done right now.
Yeah, losing your last hit while waiting for that elevator causes a soft lock. He is straight up done. We had
Great
the
stuff.
OK guy. He did an, as you can see, glitchy category in A Link to the Past called Swordless All Dungeons. And things can go really wrong really quick. Let's see how Mothra goes for him. I bet when you saw him pull at that flute, you were thinking this is going to be a blooper. But it's not. He gets him down with the hammer. Up next, Resophos had like 5 or 6 highlights that I wanted to throw in here. But I had to choose one.
Disgusting.
I think he like was a little behind, and he was like, "Well, then I'm gonna go all out on this next stage." All that just to save a couple seconds.
That is gross.
That's not the only thing he did. He had so many small Mario tricks. This next one is stupid, but it makes me smile every time I watch it. So just keep your eyes on Dixie Kong here. We're getting close to the end. Towards the end of the marathon, Yagamoth ran Tales of Fantasia. And they say animals are most often, the most dangerous when they're backed into a corner. this boar gets a taste for blood. This is the first boss of the game. I loved that. Yeah, we got need audio again for Mr. Zera the Mant. Coming back for a second clip. He ran a ton of Doraemon games for us. Let's see how, I think this is Doraemon 4 goes.
Okay, good. I killed Pencil Man. There, that's the damage. Boost.
Oof.
I better pick up a 1-up soon.
Get it? Boost. I love it. This is our last clip. That Dixie Kong one was from Katoon's blindfolded run of DKC2. But I had to throw in one of his actual gameplay. This was the only run that was so tense. It made me go like more than once. This run through Screech's sprint is legendary. He is doing this blindfolded.
I don't even know how he does that. That's crazy. Like other levels, I guess I can understand, but that one, the flying level, that's just yeah, that's definitely a good pick. Probably one of the most impressive things to see blindfolded.
Yeah, he navigates mostly by background music. DKC music is very rhythmic, and he just feels it out based off of the music. I love it. So that is just some of the highlights of this marathon. I need to go back and watch more runs even, but that's gonna wrap it up.
That's right. It's bedtime for me.
Yeah, you got to get up tomorrow to do more tournaments.
I think so. Not in the morning though. I mean, I get to sleep in a little bit. People don't do tournament races in the morning. Yeah, it's nothing to worry about.
So that's it. We are now truly well and done. Thanks for sticking around. Incredible week plus 11 more days of highlight. Nah. Maybe we'll return to normal lives for a little bit. Thank you once again, everyone. We hope you enjoyed SNES Superstars 2017, and we'll see you again next year.